Keep going, the party for Anna, keep going, mixing, keep going, 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 progress, keep going, success, keep going, NNP, keep going, all are we, keep going, NNP, keep going, democracy, keep going, prosperity, keep going, stability, free food, free water, more infrastructure, help for agriculture, so we could live better, business development and foreign investment, so for Grenada come, let the progress go on, go green, go green, go green, go green, show green, more green, go green, go green, go green, go green, go green, show green, more green, go green. Tell them so we don't want no change, we don't want the country rearrange, tell them don't take that backward step and next thing you regret, so stay with NNP for more stability, 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 for more for more stability. Let the progress continue.
I'm tired balling. Let me alone. Election again here in Grenada. I know a lot of people go Balmoda. For 4 years we living in misery. We take so much pressure from NDC. Time now to make a change in the land and cast your vote for this election. Time to show them what we mean. Time to come out and vote for green. Come on people, get ready. We go bring back NNP. Time to fire the new driver, because the new driver can handle Grenada. People balling, can't take it no more.
We want back the old driver.
Till he better give us the key and go.
We want back the old driver.
The bus only pack up and wouldn't go.
We want back the old driver.
We don't want you driving for we no more, no more.
We want back the old driver.
Bring him back. I want to go. Let me alone. Now they come back with the same story about the briefcase and money, dragging the man them all over town because they're jealous they ain't get none. Talk about the 50,000 really hiding in the bank account, and they're building big house. Ask Nazim where the money come from. When Peter David opened his mouth, Nazim until they kick him out. But good for the goose, good for the gander. It's time now to focus on Grenada. People balling, yellow must go.
We want back the old driver.
Green have to come back and run the show.
We want back the old driver.
We have investors ready to go.
We want back the old driver.
Time for the economy to grow.
We want back the old driver.
Bring him back. I want to go. The new driver lies to everybody, even me and me family. If you know you cannot handle a bus, then why the hell you take it from us? Anyway, I pass people keep saying, it's the conductor who's driving. I don't think he insured to drive a bus, but he's sneaking on the side and he driving us. A woman said she's standing up on the street. He bust past with an ex-driver in the seat. Before they crash, he bust and kill all of we. Tell the driver to give back the key to us. People balling, can't take it no more.
We want back the old driver.
They say you better give back the key and go.
We want back the old driver.
The bus on is stalling and moving slow.
We want back the old driver.
We don't want you driving for we no more, no more.
We want back the old driver.
Bring him back. I want to board. It takes 13 long years to get the key. So you get the bus you and moving wheel. You said the other driver thief the country. And how you plan to put the company? For so much years gone, the driver still free. And now we realize you lying to it. All this thing you bring on yourself. So driver, you can't blame nobody else. But boy, you don't know we people already. They're tired and they're fed up and they're angry. So boy, if you really care about the bus, please give back the key to us. People balling, can't take it no more.
We want back the old driver.
They say you better give it to Kit and go.
We want back the old driver.
You man really know how to run the show.
We want back the old driver.
Till you can drive for we no more, no more.
We want back the old driver.
Bring him back. I'm tired balling. Let me alone.
Na 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 na, na 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 na, yellow goodbye. Na 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 na, na 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 na, yellow goodbye.
What the people want?
Green,
What Grenada want?
green,
What Carrico want?
green,
Pity Matnick want?
green.
And the people can't take no more. Yeah, the belt into motor blow. Only below belly they punching. Granny and the gun they groaning. She's hello get the power. They touch a little French and mama. So she calling on the way, please. Bring back Jonah to save Grenada. We want back Jonah. Bring back Jonah. We want back Jonah to save Grenada. What the people want?
Green,
What Grenada want?
green,
What Carrico want?
green,
Pity Matnick want?
green. Na 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 na, na 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 na, yellow goodbye. Na 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 na, na 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 na, yellow goodbye.
She said, tell the world don't worry. Just bring back Jonah Bowie. We give him two for the price of one. He get into a the yellow man. Man, you know they don't have a plan. Why the hell they take the island? Now Grenada in misery. Only Jonah could rescue it.
We want back Jonah. Bring back Jonah. We want back Jonah to save Grenada.
What the people want?
Green,
What Grenada want?
green,
What Carrico want?
green,
Pity Matnick want?
green. Na 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 na, na 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 na, yellow goodbye. Na
And the man who signed the contract, you don't hear nothing more about that. They keeping things on the low. Next election, they hold the door. We want back Jonah. Bring back Jonah. We want back Jonah to save Grenada. What the people want? Green. What Grenada want? Green. What Carrico want? Green. The thematic want? Green. The people want? Grenada want? Carrico want? The thematic want? Green. Green. Green.
What? We are the winning team. We are the winning team.
What you mean?
We are the winning team. And we will deliver. We are the NNP. We will deliver. We are the NNP.
How you mean?
We are the NNP. We will deliver. We are the NNP.
What?
Grenada in Shida is our. We will deliver. Poverty rising by the hour.
You don't see?
You don't see everybody sour.
What's the face?
That is why we bringing back Jonah.
How you
We
mean?
will deliver. We will deliver.
Everybody.
We will deliver. We will deliver.
You don't know.
People wanted change, so we give them change. No, it's big horrors. They wanted dollars. Unemployment high, for people up slow. For this country
What?
growth, and the sea must go.
How you
We are
mean?
the NNP. We will deliver. We are the NNP. NNP will
Everybody.
NNP. We will deliver. We are the NNP. NNP will deliver. Grenada in Shida is our. We will
The
deliver.
house.
Poverty rising by the hour.
What?
You don't see everybody sour.
What's your face?
That is why we bringing back Jonah.
Every
We will
time.
deliver.
Smile
We
again.
will deliver. We will
Smile
deliver.
again.
We will deliver. 4 years no investment, can't see no betterment. Only promising, but nothing happening. Well, how me country run is of great concern. Grenada fall down, so let Jonah return. We are the NNP. We will deliver. We are the NNP. NNP will deliver. We are the NNP.
How you mean?
We will deliver. We are the NNP. NNP will deliver. We will
Want to see?
Poverty rising by the hour.
Things
You don't see everybody sour.
What's face?
That is why we bringing back Jonah. We will deliver. We will deliver. We will deliver. We will deliver.
Bola made Emily and Bola. There is more than Boston and Delma.
Who again? Who again?
Nimrod, Clement and Oliver.
Who again?
Clifton, Bowen, Alexandra.
15?
Nicky still W, me brother.
I said 15.
And bring the doctors with Prime Minister.
Yo, yo.
We are the NNP. We will deliver. We are the NNP.
How you mean?
We will deliver. We are the NNP. We will deliver. We are the NNP. NNP will deliver. Grenada in Shida
How
is
you
our.
mean?
We will deliver. Poverty rising by the hour. NNP will deliver. You don't see everybody sour. We will deliver. That is why we bringing back Jonah. We will deliver. We will deliver. We will deliver. We will deliver. We are the NNP. We will deliver. We are the NNP.
How you mean?
We will deliver. We are the NNP. We will deliver. We are the NNP. NNP will deliver. Grenada in Shida is our. We will deliver. Poverty rising by the hour. NNP will deliver. You don't see everybody sour. We will deliver. That is why we bringing back Jonah. We will deliver. We will deliver. We will deliver. We will deliver.
The NDC administration failed in the first term, and they're begging for another one. Sing for them, sing for them. They go in the wrong way. Mash up NDC. They go in the wrong way. Cannot run this country. They go in the wrong way. The leader don't listen. They go in the wrong way. So they divide it into. They lie for the people. So many things they promise they go do. They say $700 not enough money. They go give 1,000 to them money. Soon as they get in power, the money program over. They go in the wrong way. One come NDC. They go in the wrong way. Cannot run this country. They go of the culture. The worst carnival we had in Grenada. 4 years now and things ain't getting better. And they keep pointing finger at one another. Carnival come and carnival go. Problems to pay price money, you know. They go in the wrong way. Mash up NDC. They go in the wrong way. Cannot run the country. They go in the wrong way. They say the leader don't listen. They go in the wrong way. So they divide it into. They go in the wrong way. In fighting for so. They go in the wrong way. Remind us of the rebel. They go in the wrong way. Behaving too ignorant. They go in the wrong way. And they suspend parliament. Unemployment very high in this country. NDC send back the CCC. Teachers and nurses ain't getting salary. No proper medical facilities. Crime is on the rise, you know. Young people killing more than before. Yellow. They go in the wrong way. One some NDC. They go in the wrong way. Cannot run this country. They go in the wrong way. They say the leader don't listen. They go in the wrong way. So they divide it into. They used to talk about corruption. That was only an illusion. The money they receive on their bank account. Explain it to us, they shut up their mouth. They stop this school feeding program like this government don't give a damn. Sing this song. They go in the wrong way. Mash up NDC. They go in the wrong way. Cannot run this country. They go in the wrong way. They say the leader too harden. They go in the wrong way. So they divide it into. They go in the wrong way. Change you want and change you get. They go in the wrong way. And do nothing for St. Patrick's yet. They go in the wrong way. Some people hungry. They go in the wrong Uncle Tilly the one Venezuelan money. They go in the wrong way. All what they say about Dr. Keith. They go in the wrong way. You get his salary on time and food to eat. They go in the wrong way. Jericho must be turning in the grave. They go in the wrong way. Telling the wind of change to begin. They go in the wrong way. Peace and scholar could tell you. They go in the wrong way. They fed up for true. They go in the wrong way. Don't mind persuade a tongue tie. They go in the wrong way. He and all go tell them bye-bye. They go in the wrong way. So when you're voting, use your brain. They go in the wrong way.
Move and use it well before it's too late. If it is that who you're voting fails beyond a doubt, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is they proven to be only full amount, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the time it's now that change should come about, just as how you vote them in, vote them out. Register and vote them out. If they don't see, vote them out. State your finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy, vote them out. Vote them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Put them out of power, dominate their reign. Let's put our country together again. If for 30 years you voting them in, and it's only tears as soon as they win, they give you big words and enslave your souls, promising you roads and giving potholes. If they are the reason why the economy goes sprout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the passing laws that them alone can flout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the building eyesores, east, west, north and south, the same way you vote them in, vote them out. Register and vote them out. Totally vote them out. State your finger and vote them out. Rescue the country, vote them out. Vote them out with tempo, they have we in vain. Let's put our country together again. Put them out with calypso and joyous refrain. Let's put our country together again.
Yes, folks, a special good night to Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Yeah, they're pretty much wrapping up now with that discussion. So we'll just go ahead with our program. Yes, nice.
If their policy
A very interesting and extensive discussion that has just taken place by the new National Party. Mr. Ruggles Ferguson, King's Counsel, I nearly said Queen's Counsel. King's Counsel was there and did an excellent job explaining the different aspects of the data protection bill. Yeah, as it is being presented right now, the data protection bill. He did an excellent job of discussing that and several issues. For instance, in relation to the searching and the access of your devices and so, also making the point that he had filed a constitutional motion in relation to similar actions in the past, and that there is an issue as far as he's concerned in relation to that issue and several other aspects of that bill. So the discussion is closing down right now. Let me just say a special good night to all of you who have been very patient for the last half hour. Let me see. Yes, Leroy, Olive, Christine. Hey, cousin Christine. Dale, Cindy, I hear everybody in Carriacou want to see me. Christine, I really had to come up Carriacou. Yeah? All my cousins calling me, yes, we need you in Carriacou, we want you in Carriacou, etc. So I have to come up to Carriacou. I don't know. Somehow, I might have to find a means to do a program or two from Carriacou, because Carriacou people say they want me to come up. So I definitely have to find a way and get myself up to Carriacou very soon. So let me see. Dale Charles, good night to you. Leonard Mark, Jocelyn, Dominic, ShopRite Duncan, good night. Elon, Kenisha Charles, good night to you. And Claire, Courtney, yes, Yvonne, good night to you. Yolande, Lucky, good night to you. Sharon, good night. Wallan, Charmaine, as usual, I see you there, girl. And Lynn, Kenisha again. Well, no, that's the same Kenisha. Yes, I think so. Denise and let me see. Denise and Denise. So you had Denise Fabio and you had Denise Alexander, Agnes, JC, Kishon, Winnie. Good night to all of you. Cynthia, I'm seeing you there. Yeah, and let me say good night to myself and all. Yeah. Anisha, Phyllis, Cynthia, Williams, yeah, good night to all of you. Claude, good night, good night, good night, good night to all of you that I'm seeing on the Facebook. Yeah, just giving a little time for everybody to know that we've started, because we did say we're going to start at 9, but the session is wrapping up now, so I decided, yeah, 8:30, let's go. All right, nice. And let me see over on the YouTube. Yeah, I'm seeing, let me see, I'm seeing Public Notice, Faithlin, I'm seeing you there. Yeah, boy, them song and them I know. Deborah, Gleason, Michelle, Gloria, Dave, Alcy, Stanley, Pastor Kasame, Cousin Koi, good night to you. Anne-Marie, Doreen, Wilma. Yeah, I'm seeing all of you there. Auntie Doreen, good night to you as well. All of you on the live tonight. All right. And also 94.9, our good friends out there in Brooklyn. So all of you locked on to the frequency 94.9 or online on We Noise Radio, we say a special good night to all of you. Those who are listening wherever you are in North America, those of you in Texas, North or South Carolina, whether you're in Houston in Texas or you where's the other part? El Paso, yeah, wherever you are in Texas, we say a special good night to you. Our good friends out there in Illinois, in the freezing cold in Illinois, good night to you. Our friends out there, wherever you are, we're saying a special good night to you. Just giving a little time for everyone to get in. Yeah, just giving a little time for everyone to get in tonight. Yeah, let me make sure. Let me see, boy, I could touch this one. Which one I want to touch? Yeah, let me see this one. Yeah, I'll play a little up tempo.
I know who I voted for. NNP I voted for. Tell me who you voted for. NNP we voted for. So let's keep moving. The economy growing. Let's keep moving. Construction booming. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, that's looking more like it. I'm seeing the numbers going up there. Yeah, that looks more like it.
Salary receiving.
Yeah, because we have several things to discuss tonight, so all your year, come in. We have several things to discuss tonight. Yeah, and we already lost a half an hour there, so we don't want to stick too much. I know many of you as well were on the Zoom with that meeting. Yeah, mistakenly yesterday I said that they would have a session taking place at the Trade Center. I know of at least one person who went down there. Anybody else that I caused to go down there, I take full responsibility. I should have read my messages that were coming in during the program, but you could tell I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screens, well, 6 screens inside here while I'm doing that. So I have to be monitoring things across here, screens across here, screens across there, and the small screen here. So I was, one will definitely get left sometimes. So I didn't get that message in time last night to put it out, but I did put it out this morning early that we will be having the program tonight. And definitely that we had quite a bit of things to discuss. Hey, folks, yeah, before I go any further, though, yeah, Team Grenada. Yeah, Team Grenada is out there. They are going to be in action on this Friday. Yeah, so Team Grenada, that's Grenada versus the USA. All right, so you ain't going to get tickets for the main stand, the upper main stand, or the lower main stand. You see the main stand, upper and lower? Them tickets and them sell out, but you will get tickets for the secondary stand, and they go in faster, so you have to go and get your tickets. And also the bleachers, nice, yeah, there's a Grenadian thing, so I'm telling all you what going on, and the Grenada Football Association even tell me do that, I just doing it. All right, nice. So tickets available. You can check Grenadian Optical, the nice people right by NIS there. Yeah, Boxo Place, to the older people in Grenada, Boxo Place, right? Grenadian Optical, you could go there and you could get a ticket. All right, Grenadian Optical in Granance. Chucky's Bar opposite the bus terminal, Licks and Bites in Guave, Shy's Bar in Victoria, Calico in Sutez, Maxie's Bar in Grenville, St. David's Pharmacy, the Grenada Football Association Secretariat in Queen's Park. Or you could check on the Go to Fet website and you could buy your tickets there. Gary, good night, boy. Yeah, the Go to Fet website, you could check there and you could get your tickets as well. Yeah, Team Grenada, they're in action. All of us are Grenadians. We had to support the people. I mean, yeah, and I think it's over 60% of the players are locally based. So while it have some players that come from overseas to help Grenada represent Grenada, over 60% of the players are locally. Here's some international teams, some regional teams like a country's team, and you realize that 80% of the players come from some other place. They're not from the country itself. It's people they make citizens or who become citizens by whatever means. No, here in Grenada, 60% are local. All right, nice. The last match you had with Grenada and the United States was back in 2004. Yeah, Grenada lost that encounter, but we didn't go down just so, Yeah, we went down 3-2. We have a kind of thing when we take on the United States. So we went down 3-2 to the United States. They had 2 goals that were scored. Yeah, Curry, they scored 1, and the other one was by Jason Roberts. Yeah, the same guy with the Jason Roberts Foundation, right? So Curry and Jason Roberts. All right, so the next match after this one, you might have to wait until June. So we're heading to the stadium on Friday. Let me just get the exact time. Yeah, I want the exact time. I'm not seeing the time here. Come on, guys. I'm not seeing the time that the match is taking place. Let me see if I could open. Yeah, it starts at, what I'm seeing there, 8 p.m. Is it 8? Yeah, I think it's 8 p.m. Yeah, that the match is starting. So that's going to be happening, right? And those of you that can make it, make sure that you make it. There's a place to be on Friday supporting Team Grenada. Come on, they're our guys. All right, so we have to go on out and support them definitely. So as I said, quite an extensive discussion in relation to the data protection bill has just been taking place. I think it should be completed by now. That's why I've gone ahead and started with the program for tonight. All right. And last night, Joyce, good night to you. Last night, I did ask you all to WhatsApp to the WhatsApp number, the 440-7377, so that I can add you now. What I decided is that I had created the group, and then I decided something. I didn't just want to go and add everybody into the group. Some people may not want other people to see their number, because they may be one of the people that has tell me I look at something, and they might be in a ministry or somewhere, and they may not want people to see their number. So I'll have 2 things. I'll have a broadcast list, which means when I have information, I can send it out to you, but you're not in a group. Nobody else sees that you're getting that information, but everybody's getting the same information, but it's not a place where this one could start chatting with you or that one could start chatting with you or so on. And outside of that, separately, I have already created the Talking Points Crew WhatsApp group. All right? So if you want to be part of the group, you let me know. If you want to be part of just the broadcast list, so you want to get information, but you don't want anybody know that you're connected, because not everybody that WhatsApp and so on wants people to know that they're there, want people to know that, because you understand what we're going through right now. Yeah, I've heard 2 more public officers were sent on administrative leave today. 2 more. Yeah. So they're sending them on administrative leave. Public officer after public officer, they're sending them on administrative leave. And outside of that, the other thing that they are doing is dragging them before the Public Service Commission. That's the kind of nonsense that we have taking place in our country right now. And then they come here and talk about everybody's free to speak, and everybody, they're trying to take away right for freedom of association and that kind of thing.
As we campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you're not refrain. You're not refrain.
Someone is saying Next time we have to play we have to play Team America in the daytime, man. Let them get some Grenadian hot sun. I agree with you. Sometimes cricket teams play matches in conditions that are conducive to them, and maybe you might have to do that with football too.
Say it is, that's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. Yellow all the way is.
And we're going to keep the phone lines open. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. And just to let you all know, I'm seeing a Now Grenada report, and they're reporting on that meeting that took place with the Bar Association, and they gave a synopsis of that meeting from the Bar Association. The Bar Association is saying that there are issues with the data protection bill. Let me just read the Now Grenada report for you. Let me just read that for you. The Grenada Bar Association members believe that sections of the, and that's a mistake there, the 2013, it's actually the 2023 data protection bill need to be amended because they are overbroad and can result in constitutional breaches if it was to become the law of the land. During a special meeting on Tuesday, the 21st of March, the members agreed that the government should make amendments to the proposed legislation set to be debated in the Senate of the Upper House of Parliament on the 29th of March. That's next week, Wednesday. Right. The bill on 14th of March received the approval of the lower house with some amendments. Derek Sylvester, president of the Grenada Bar Association, said concerns were expressed about the role and function of the authorized officer and a definition for the position as written in the bill. The ambit via the authorized officers are circumscribed. So in other words, who are these authorized officers? And we just heard, those of you that were on the Zoom with Ruggles Ferguson, KC, King's Counsel, would realize that he also raised similar concerns. Now, you could say that you have different officers that are working along with the commission, but they could take anybody basically and say they are an authorized officer. There's nothing in the bill that says this is the specific officer. Somebody from the Financial Intelligence Unit, somebody from the Cybercrime Unit of the Royal Grenada Police Force, a legal person, somebody from the legal branch of the Royal Grenada Police Force. You can't just drag, because this bill basically means they could drag anybody off the street, and send them into your home. Yeah? They could drag anybody off the street and bring them into your home. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful about that. So the Bar Association is saying that they are concerned. They have an issue when it comes to the definition of the individuals who are the authorized officers. They also said there are other sections of the bill that attorneys felt need clarity. And listen, this is not one lawyer saying this. This is not the Honorable Peter David standing up in Parliament and just saying this. This is the Bar Association of Grenada. So, from what I heard, over 40 lawyers were in on that Zoom. So you had a large cross-section of legal minds there. And they are saying, I wonder if the Prime Minister in his capacity as a lawyer and a member of the Grenada Bar Association was on the Zoom last night. I wonder if the Attorney General in her capacity as a lawyer was on, and a member of the Grenada Bar Association was on last night as well. But anyway, so let's get back to the article here. It says, there are other sections of the bill that attorneys felt need clarity. For example, they are of the view that for personal data, the definition for personal data should be expanded to include facial and other data live features. Members had concerns in relation to the ambit of the executive of the warrant and whether or not the section is overbroad and it could lead to constitutional breaches. Now, this speaks specifically to the section 33 that we've all spoken about when it comes to searching your home. Because there is one particular part of it for sure that breaches your constitutional right when they tell you that they have to ask you questions and you have to answer. You don't have to answer nothing. You have a constitutional right against self-incrimination. Remember, anything that you say there, they will take into record, and when you go to court, it will be used as evidence against you. Because if it's evidence in the positive for you, you wouldn't be going to court in the first place. So anything that they're using, they're going to use as evidence against you. So you have a right under the Constitution of Grenada to avoid self-incrimination. Right? That's your right under the Constitution of Grenada. And as such, they can't put a law in place that says you have to answer anything. You don't have to answer. But they are trying to put an act in place that says that, and was raised by Mr. Ruggles Ferguson as well. When it comes to the Antigua legislation that has been around for pretty much 8 years, they don't even have that section that deals with entering people's property and searching and seizing and all this sort of thing. That their legislation does not even have that in it. So let me go further here. For numerous parts of the bills, attorneys are of the view that they should be reviewed. He said, meaning Mr. Derek Sylvester, said, disclosing that the association executive is preparing a dossier for the Attorney General here, because it seems as though, in my view, I ain't saying what Mr. Derek Sylvester and them saying, I saying in my view, the Attorney General kind of incompetent. So the other lawyers, they go help her. So they're preparing a document and they're going to hand her a document with their concerns in relation to this. Hopefully, she will get that before she goes to make a fool of herself next week Wednesday in the parliament of this country. All right. Anyhow, the members also want to see the regulations for the application of the law be approved at the same time the law is receiving approval from the parliament. Right? The regulation of any law is very important. So we want the regulation to also be part of the bill. Yeah, instead of they coming afterwards and they're doing SRO, make it part of the bill one time. Former Attorney General and constitutional lawyer Dr. Francis Alexis has described the bill as requiring surgery. Somebody had to be crazy to calling me now. Yeah. Former Attorney General and constitutional lawyer Dr. Francis Alexis has described the bill as requiring surgery in some sections, while the opposition New National Party calls for more public consultation. The government has said the bill must become law to enforce two projects that will see an injection of US $24 million in the economy. And I am saying the government lied. Right? Nice. Good. 440-7377. That's the number for you to get on the inside. Let me just make sure that this is up here. Nice. Yeah, you have to make sure the thing playing and thing. What's going on with this here? Why sees what going on with this? Hey, Papa, what do you hear? Nice. Good.
Strain, but you now refrain. You now refrain. Yellow, yellow, all the way is what everybody say. Cell phone ring, man answering. Yellow, yellow, no hello. Teeth get yellow, house get yellow, bus get yellow, man get yellow, even green get yellow, and so says 11-4. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited.
So one of my good friends on WhatsApp is asking me if the bill has been passed yet. No, it has not been passed yet. When it goes to the Senate on Wednesday coming, when it goes to the Senate, if the government decides to go forward with it, they have the numbers. They have 6 people on their side and there are 6 on the other side, but then they have the Speaker, the President of the House, who obviously was appointed by them. So that individual usually votes with the government side in relation to a bill. All right, and I have a feeling there's somebody on the other side that go vote, with the bill too. But I ain't gonna call name yet. I want them to call I want them to call a thing. Let everybody stand up and say if they support or they don't support. So yeah, so it is not yet law. For it to become law, after it goes through the House of Representatives, which it has already done, has to go to the Senate, which will take place on Wednesday. And at the end of the Senate sitting, once it is completed, once they go through all the stages with that bill, and they have the final reading, etc., it is sent to the Governor General, and then the Governor General must sign. All right? So, well, not must, the Governor General has an option. The Governor General could send it back and say, hey, I think you all need some consultation on this. So I'm saying that maybe the Governor General needs to do that. Maybe the GG needs to send it back. If they send it just as is, Bar Association saying it have problems with it. I mean, my goodness. Even folks, let me read something for you all, and you all tell me who it is that you think it is that has said that. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Where is that? Come on, I've got that information somewhere right here. Yeah. You see, sometimes so much things coming in on a daily basis. Sometimes, nice, yeah. So, here it says, and I'm reading here. This is a call for Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell and the National Democratic Congress to pause with the controversial data processing bill that is before Parliament and to allow for a period of consultation with all stakeholders. The NDC might not use the act to go after its opponents. The same cannot be said of the likes of, they want to accuse the NNP of being the type of people that would use that bill. You have other bills that there and they never use it against you. Why would they use this one? Right? And the NNP, if this data processing bill in its present form is passed in Parliament and sent to the GG for passage into law. The bill is a threat to press freedom and freedom of information in the public interest. A dictator can use this bill in its present form to go after any member of the media who obtains a sensitive government document and publishes it in the national interest. Let me read that again. A dictator can use this bill in its present form to go after any member of the media who obtains a sensitive government document and publishes it in the national interest. And then they put in all caps. It is the right of any journalist to obtain information that should be brought to the attention of the public at all times. The NDC should not pass any legislation in Parliament that provides platform for anti-democratic forces to use against the people. NDC, please engage in meaningful and full consultation with all and sundry before the bill becomes law in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. You all know who wrote that one? Yeah, I called his name the other night. Yeah, George Worm. He is calling, George Worm is calling on the NDC administration not to move forward with this bill because various aspects of that bill, and we've said that here, that if you're passing a law, you have to look at it from two perspectives. One, you enforcing that. And if you believe enforcing it in the way that it is correct is one thing. But you being on the receiving end of the different components of that law. And what George Worm is saying to them is that all you look like a one-term government. That is kind of what he's saying in between there, and all you look like a one-term government. So all you might pass something like that and it might come wrong to bite people like him who every single week, I don't know, like he's a plumber because every week he getting leak. So he had to be a plumber. He can't be a journalist. George Worm had to be a plumber. Can't be a journalist for all them leak he does get it. Yeah? So every week is a leak about this and a leak about that. Even when he was writing a story about leak, it was a leak. That's the kicksy thing, you know. He was writing a story about leaks and who was leaking information in the public service. And the information he was given was from a leak. So that is what he is now saying, that the government needs to relook. They need to pause. I've said to someone recently that the government needs to approach and proceed cautiously with due consideration in relation to the various aspects of the legislation that they are attempting to pass. In other words, consult people now. Talk with people in relation to this thing. All right, Dr. Dubois, good night to you. Hannah, good night to you. Yeah. So you have Mr. George Worm, of all people. I know, somebody tell me today like he's sitting down in the same pew with me from church reading from the same hymn book. No. George had a different kind of hymn book, but he hymn book come from, that ain't come from, he hymn book come from, anyhow. Yeah. And if he in the same pew with me, I'll go in and sit down in the next pew. So, so you have the Grenada Bar Association. And I remember, I'm going to play it for you tomorrow night because we have an abbreviated program tonight. I will be finishing at 10. I must finish at 10 tonight. Due to several reasons, I must finish at 10. But we have a situation where the Grenada Bar Association, the biggest conglomeration of lawyers, legal practitioners that you could find on the island, is saying to the Attorney General, is saying to the government of Grenada, because this bill was in the Attorney General name, is saying to the government of Grenada, stop, speak with us, relook these sections, and then you could proceed. In fact, what I'm hearing is that since coming into office on the 23rd of June, this administration has never sent any of the legislation that they have brought to Parliament to the Bar Association, and they didn't send. When was the NNP? The NNP, according to how they would send different things to the Bar Association. Bar Association would take a look, nothing big with that. Oh, yes, we agree that. Oh, this is a recommendation of ours. Or they might make a slight recommendation and say, you all need to look at that terminology because it could be perceived as so or so. Or this could end up being used in an unconstitutional way. You all need to change it. So the Bar Association at least used to receive the various documents that had to go to Parliament and so from the New National Party. But when it comes to the NDC, from what we are hearing now, they have not, the Bar Association has not been receiving the various bits and pieces of legislation that are being sent to Parliament. They are not being sent to the Bar Association. That, my friends, together with all the other things that we see taking place, is again a cause for pause. They are definitely a cause for concern. We cannot have a situation where you have all these legal minds willing to help. Some 40-something of them was on last night discussing the different aspects of this bill and saying, hey, we applying, because I'm not a lawyer, they understand legal principles, the general principles and so on in relation to various aspects of the law. So they would understand better than me how to apply those. And if they are saying, because the Prime Minister got on his high horse, his arrogant high horse, and started about, oh, your concerns are not genuine. What do you mean the concerns are not genuine? The same concerns that the New National Party has raised. Now the Grenada Bar Association is raising it. I want to hear Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell say to the Grenada Bar Association that their concerns are not genuine, because the same concerns that the NNP has. I want to hear the Attorney General in her little nasal squeaky voice say that how the concerns of the New National Party and the concerns of the Grenada Bar Association don't warrant anybody looking into it. Don't warrant a hold and a relook at the legislation. So it's 24 million US, the cost of your constitutional right. Ask yourself that as a Grenadian right now. They're saying they're going to lose 20. Well, they lose 70 million last time. 70 million. They went in Barbados and lose. All they went and lose that. A whole Western Main Road project. All you lose. So now you're telling us, give up our constitutional rights because you're going after 24 million? I really want to hear from the government what this 24 million is for and the specific things that need to be put in place. Because saying that is one thing. Anybody could jump up and say, well, we had this project and that project, and to get the money, we need that. Anybody could jump up and say that. Yeah? Because you know what they might come and tell us just now? They might have to come and tell us just now they have to pass certain laws in relation to certain activities. I know the churches might be upset on that one. I ain't going to go further, but all I go say is they will come just now and say that they have a 50 million or 100 million to collect, and they can't collect it unless they pass certain laws or repeal certain laws that are in place right now. All you know what I'm talking about. I ain't saying more. The New National Party didn't have that problem. Yes, you had things that you had to pass, but you listened so that you dealt with those issues. It went to the Bar Association. The Bar Association say, well, okay, this is the case, but you explain to them, this is what we need to do by that space and time. Other than that, you'd have a problem when it comes to financing, or you'd have a problem in relation to this project or that project, you explain things. You don't just come and say, well, we will lose X amount of million if we don't pass the bill right now. Well, you know that. You had enough time. Look, they had the space of time. The government had the space of time between when the New National Party started to speak about this, which was about 2 weeks ago. About 2 to 3 weeks ago, we started speaking about this. They had all that time to know, to consult. They could have said, let's have a meeting. The New National Party, I'm sure, and other people would have made themselves available. Over 40-something lawyers made themselves available last night. I am pretty sure they would have made themselves available even earlier, had the government called on them to be part of the discussion, or at least that the leadership of that organization would definitely have made themselves available. But no, nothing wrong with it. Leave it so. We passing it so. Arrogant. And arrogant with nothing behind them, you know. So you win an election. All kind of people does win election, you know. You win an election, so that doesn't give you the right to be arrogant. You're the Minister of Legal Affairs. Oh, nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. Oh, I want to hear the Minister of Legal Affairs now say that the Bar Association is not genuine in their concerns. That Dr. Francis Alexis Casey, King's Counsel, all through the Caribbean and South America, that has called on him when it comes to constitutional matters. And he has addressed concerns with the bill. I want to hear her say that his concerns don't mean nothing. I want to hear her say that. I want to hear her say that, oh, they don't really need to listen to them because their concerns are not genuine. And while I say this, I want to hear her say that, Mr. George Worm, yeah, all your paliwali. When all you want to make it look like all you're talking to the media, all you go to him. And he's saying to you all, don't do it. He's saying it to you all your own partner, all your advisor. Yeah? Because he's advising you all. That's what he's doing right now. He's advising you all, don't do it. I never said the man was a paid advisor. I don't try to stick me with that one. But he is giving advice to them on a weekly basis through his newspaper. So all your advisor, he's saying don't go with it. You all going to tell him that he's not genuine as well? Or does that only fit the mold of the New National Party saying the exact same thing that he is saying, that Dr. Francis Alexis is saying, and that the Grenada Bar Association is saying? But while I'm saying all of that, let me say this. Where is the media fraternity? Do we have a media association of Grenada, or they only know to be active when certain governments in power? Do we have a media association of Grenada? Where's MWAG? Mr. Gerard Joseph, I think your name is? You're the president of MWAG? This thing been around long enough for all you to either check lawyers or read it for all yourself and come up with all your concerns. Regional bodies, I could tell you that. Regional bodies have received copies of this legislation and have voiced serious concerns in relation to the rights and privileges of Grenadians under the Constitution, including journalists. Not because they put that section there about journalists feel you're safe, you know. Yeah, not because they put that section there about journalists could you think that you're safe. You still have problems. So you're not saying anything up to now. Mr. Joseph, what do you? Up to now, the Media Association of Grenada can't say nothing about this. Good, bad, or indifferent. The good, the bad, or the ugly. Nothing. Or they don't have a view. I find that to be very strange. That the Media Association has nothing to say in relation to this particular issue. An issue which directly affects their ability to do their job, which is what is being passed on by, yes, I've seen that picture, my dear, which is what is being passed on, right? Which is what is being passed on by the different organizations. So we've heard from the Bar Association now. We've heard from various media legal practitioners in Grenada. We've heard from one out of all. The only media person that speak out is George Worm. That the only man. Tonight is Wednesday. Let me see what Kalistra say. I ain't feel Kalistra and Jenny Rapier go disappoint me. And Jenny has not been disappointing me lately. I ain't feel that Jenny Rapier and Kalistra go disappoint me. Because I think today is Wednesday when it does have the usual tit for tat. Yeah. I ain't feel they'll go disappoint me. Let me hear what they have to say in relation to this bill. But I also want to hear, not from them, but I also want to hear why there is nothing being said by the Media Association of Grenada. Is there a media association? Or is it that you all just have nothing to say? It's okay if it passes and it affects us. We don't care. That's the kind of leadership you all have in the Media Association right now. So if it happens, we don't care. Just let it pass. One of your elder statesmen, who I don't really consider to be a media practitioner, but anyway, claims to be a media practitioner, has come out and is saying now that, hey, section of this thing dangerous. And you all are even listening to him. You all, the lawyers saying it, you all are listening to the lawyers, but you all sit down there and ain't saying nothing. What going on with the media? Serious, what going on with the media? You all feel because they say journalists. Did you all see anything there that gives a definition of a journalist? Maybe the person has to be members of an association. Maybe they need to have certain qualifications. Did you all see a definition of a journalist? To know who are the people that could go ahead and get information and pass it out under journalistic rules. You all are even checking on that. You all not even checking on that. So that again is another issue. I want to hear if the Media Association comes up, because you have a little bit of time. Tomorrow is Thursday and then Friday you could talk. Yeah? So I want to hear what they have to say in relation to it. The voice mustn't just be mine out there talking and giving information in relation to this bill. From how much weeks now? It mustn't just be me every night talking about it, every day talking about it. It shouldn't just be me. Because it's not about me alone. Some of you all think that this thing is just a thing. Oh, they're going after that special land and them. Yes, stay there and feel the special land and them. When the boom drop on you, you go, no. Hello, good night. Hello.
Good night, Mr. Scott.
Camille Teresa
Good night,
Scott.
Mr. Sheldon Scott.
Are rolling out
How
the
you
full
doing
government
tonight,
name.
sir?
I'm great.
Well, good night to the Grenadian people, all Grenadians in Grenada, in Petit Martinique, in Caracou, in America, Canada, all over the world, Baghdad and all. Baghdad, listening to On the Point, Talking Point.
Yes, I know.
All over.
Good night, partners.
Beautiful day today. And outside hot.
I like it
The
so.
night is hot, Sheldon. But Sheldon,
I love it so.
you I'm listening to you, and you're talking about the bill, and you say over 40-something lawyers in Grenada was on Zoom discussing the bill.
Yes.
Mr. Ruggles Ferguson, good night. I see this child go to school, you know, they nearly kill that man. They beat him up at time, you know.
Oh, God. Don't
That
answer.
in fact, they're going to school where he's a lawyer today.
You're selling the man
Good night,
business out.
Ruggles. Well, Mr. Ruggles Ferguson, I know you're always listening to interesting program. This is Miss Kami, that you know very well. I want you to stand up and to speak out and fight for the Grenadian people with this bill. You're a lawyer, you have a legal mind. Right? I know I have a legal mind, sir. You know, so I'm asking you, do that for Miss Kami. Because I don't want when they interfere with me and I say what to say, they will come in my house. They could send any man to come inside me house. They will have a hard time. So speak out for we as the Grenadian people for me, please, sir. Because you have a legal mind. You don't go and study law. Okay? Right. The next thing, Mr. Scott, I want to, you're talking about journalists. I've seen Calistra, all on the terminal, all in the tongue, every day, up and down.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is, something is not right with the Grenadian people. Mr. Scott, in NNP time under the Dr. Keith Mitchell when he was Prime Minister, all he say at press conference, all media house, all media, TVN, MTV, Miss Lady from Guavable, Calistra, all media house. Only now something wrong. Well, they afraid it Mitchell. He look as if they afraid that man. I don't know. Something is not right. These people scared of that man. I don't know if he promised the media people money or something, some big job or something, and they're afraid to go and question him. Where things is going wrong in this country, a bunch of hypocrites. Bring back the old driver. I hear you play some tune there tonight. You remind me, boy. Could you believe that? Grenadians is suffering. Look at me at the age of 66 years with 2 souls and never owe the government and the bus terminal, and they pass laws that you have to close up 8 o'clock and you can't put your little thing outside to make money to pay your rent. What be I tell you? Under Dr. Mitchell, or you could say, what do you want about Dr. Kit Claudius Mitchell? That was a man was for poor people in this country. All who have eyes to see could see. All who have ears to hear could hear. Some of you just shame. Some of you just bad mind. A lot of us bad mind in Grenada and shame for what Dr. Kit Mitchell and his team did for this country. And I always have to repeat that at any station I call. He never do nothing for Grenada. Grenadians know that the road by Bolo had to bust in bushes that was under NNP.
Well, I
And
hear
one
something.
want to take it, but they
I hear
cannot
so.
fool the Grenadian people. Somehow they could fool not people as me. Not people as me. Because I know them is them that build that road. I know the NNP that build them houses. Where are they today? Could you believe that? Could children they want to lock me up? That's the plan. But I'm afraid. If they put,
You know,
if Mr. Tillman Thomas was in jail and he come out and be a prime minister, who is Mr. Kami? He have some big boss in the port authority, but mark my word tonight. Grenadians, listen what I'm saying tonight. There will come a time that they go hold them sticky hand and that port authority. Some in the terminal, some on the port, where them big steamer boat coming in. Don't wait. It mightn't be tomorrow, but they go get them sticky finger on them. Just give them, what are you hear what I'm saying? Mark my word. That boat, they go hold on you because a lot of y'all forget where you come from. Sheldon, good night.
All
And
right,
good night to Doc in Victoria and the lady from Florida in United States. My good friend. Good night, darling. I love you all. And God bless America. Have a good night, Sheldon Scott.
yes,
And
indeed.
I don't afraid nobody in Grenada. I don't afraid nobody. I respect my God. Have a good night.
All right.
Grenadians.
Yes, yeah, so people can't believe that it's George Worm that write. Yes, it's George Worm that wrote that telling the government, careful, because, in fact, you know, yes, I agree with a good friend of mine messaged me there. Yeah, George is admitting that this is a one-term NDC. Even George Worm basically telling them, well, it's a one-term government. Come out and go all the way. Hurry up and go. He's telling them. So he's saying, careful what laws all you pass, because all you might pass it with the intent that all you might be able to use it on the new national party, but then the laws in place, all you can't come and say take it out because all you that put it there, and the law could be used on you. Yeah, that's what George telling them. So they better listen. Yeah, they better listen to Brother George. 4407377. That's the number to call and get on the inside. And I just want to make, and let me take that call quickly, because there's another point I want to make. Hello?
Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am.
Doctor, the lady want us to take out his teeth.
Yes, doc. Yeah.
Dr. Dubois.
Yeah.
Sheldon.
We had to make it quicker because I'm running out of time tonight.
I said, Dr. Dubois, I was saying good night to her.
Yes, she just joined us.
She's been very good to me, so I'll just forget her name.
Yeah, Dr.
But
Julie
it just
Dubois.
come in my mind. Dr. Dubois in Victoria was the dentist.
Yes.
Good night.
All right,
so
my
I'm
dear.
not fed up with Miss Cammy, you know.
No, it's just running out of time tonight. All right, my dear.
And give them some fire for me. I lie down.
All right, my dear. Let me say a good night to Nursey. Nursey says shout out. I listened over my stuff last night and I realized that sometimes my audio was going a little crackly. Then when I checked the messages this morning, I see some people did say that the audio was going a little crackly and that kind of thing. So I had to be careful. Yeah, I had to keep the teacher to keep that distance and so to the mic and all of that. So I had to be careful how I'm using the mic. But yeah, I am saying, I don't know how many of you that review history and you review how Adolf Hitler came into power. Adolf Hitler did not pick up a gun and go and take over Germany. He tried that. It didn't work. And then he was voted in by the people of Germany. There were several things that they started to do. They made sure everybody, those days, remember, it had no computer and them thing. They made sure everybody had a radio in the house. Everybody, all over Germany. Then they controlled all the messages that were coming over the radio to the people of Germany. So they started to get them to think a particular way. Because if every day they're coming out and they're telling you, the sky is green, the sky is green, the sky is green, eventually you start to believe, well, maybe I'm colorblind, the sky may be green in truth. So that is what they did. And eventually, you saw what happened. We have a call online. Let's take the call. Good night.
Hello, Sheila. Good night. Good night.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Not bad, not bad.
Yes, sir. Just as I was talking history, but go right ahead.
Oh, yeah, because you see now, 2 weeks ago, I called on the program and I said that the bill that this government wants to pass is an attack on the Magna Carta. Now, the Magna Carta is the greatest bill of rights and liberties ever passed in the Commonwealth, and that is enshrined in our Constitution. So, so anything which infringes on the rights of the citizens is an attack on the Magna Carta, and we must stand up. We must protest against this bill, and it has to be withdrawn once we stand collectively, because the bill needs surgery. Because I heard Dr. Alexis on the Bob report, and he has mentioned that, and Dr. Alexis is a renowned constitutional lawyer, and we must not take this thing easily. Mm-hmm. We have fought too long and hard for where we are now, for our rights and liberties to be taken away from us. And you cannot stop continuing to educate Grenadians and to inform, not only to educate them, but to inform them, and to inform us about the importance of this bill, and if it should pass, how it would affect our lives. Mm-hmm.
So, when you was small and it's back to school time, and your parents have to give you that medication to flush you out.
Yeah.
They put it in that grapefruit or something, and they put a little sugar, or they give you it a little honey or something because it tastes bad.
Yeah, they
want you to take it. Yeah. So
they have a sweetie in their hand and they hold in your nose for it to goggle it down.
Yeah, so what they are doing, they're giving us this bill and they're telling us it's good for you, there are benefits to it, but it leaves a bitter aftertaste. There's something wrong there. It leaves a bitter. You go end up in the toilet for a long period of time. Obviously, there is a bitter aftertaste, and that's just what this bill is. It leaves a bitter aftertaste because there are things inside there.
Sheldon, you have to continue. You have to continue talking on this bill because it tries to raise the consciousness of our people. It is not it is not about political affiliation, no, you know. It's about the right of the citizen of this country.
Yeah.
That is what it's about. Our rights.
Then they actually claim that they're giving new rights to Grenadians, you know.
No,
I want to know what
all.
new rights they're giving to Grenadians.
At all,
Have they
at
changed the
all.
constitution of Grenada? What new rights they're giving?
You know.
Oh boy. All right.
Okay. Well,
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I have to dive into something here too. One of the things that Hitler did was he controlled all the information. So they took over all the newspapers. All the information you get on the newspapers was what Hitler wanted there. Well, Goebbels, yeah, Joseph Goebbels, who was his chief propagandist. If we have to say in our Grenada context, if we have a Joseph Goebbels, it would be Mr. Orlando Romaine, because it seems as though he's the one that's trying to control different things taking place with the media. To the extent that now you're hearing that they're restructuring GIS. Well, I just have one question to ask. We know that all the new program is WASH, who are sending home. So that is the question I'm asking in relation to the GIS, the Government Information Service now. Who all you're sending home? Yeah? Question mark. In relation to the GIS, who all you're sending home? Because it's obvious when you all say restructuring, we know what's going to go and happen there already. The same government that's speaking about freedom of information and providing information to the people, that's attempting to pass this bill so nobody can say if they don't answer a question in Parliament, you're going to get that by a roundabout manner. No. This same government now is cutting off doing the GIS nightly reports. GIS on a nightly basis, for those of you that follow it or see it on the social media afterwards, GIS does on a nightly basis a report, the national report. They have news on a nightly basis then. The government decided that they ain't had to give all no information on a nightly basis now. So they sent out a release today. We're not putting out no information for all you on a nightly basis, all the tail. We're putting it out on a Friday alone. So we're putting everything together and we're coming out on Friday. The same people, you know, who said that they should be informing you and you should know what's going on in government is cutting back on the various means and mechanisms to give you information. So already, you, the Grenadian people, are being rudely denied having a post-cabinet press briefing on a weekly basis. They said they will talk to you when they want to talk to you. And now, they're hiding from talking to you. They're hiding from talking to you. They're ducking. And then they're using the fact that you see them on something to say that they didn't hide. They was there. They hiding. Because if they wasn't hiding, they wouldn't go in an NDC town hall that they call a government town hall. In an NDC town hall, down to the colors on and the NDC t-shirt and hat and band and everything on. They had it on. When you look at the faces, you know that is the people you see in the front line in rally and so on. You know that is the executive members of the NDC. So don't tell us it was no government town hall. It was an NDC town hall. So they had that meeting. And they answer questions, not to the media. They didn't open themselves to questioning by a Linda Straker or Chrislena John or one of the people from MTV. Also, they didn't open themselves to questioning from them. No. They opened themselves to questioning from their own people. So the echo chamber was there. What they've been putting out was just being sent back at them. What they've been putting out is just being sent back at them. And the concerns of the majority of Grenadians out here are just being ignored by that arrogant bunch. They go learn what arrogance does do. Yeah, that arrogant bunch. You all ever notice the little videos and things they just put out? You ever notice that they're never interacting with anybody but themselves? You ever realize if they're lining in a band, they're jigging and dancing and talking about dance class, that it's just them in there, like the people in the neighborhood here, they come in and they just walk out, they're gone? They want to have nothing to do with them? Even the people in the bar, like the ducking behind the bar, they don't want nobody see no video come out with them. You all ever realize that the playing dominoes is them alone, the playing marble pitch is them alone, the community don't want nothing to do with them. But they're going out and they're taking picture and taking video to try and make it look like people want to interact with them. Nobody want to interact with them. Imagine they've gotten to that stage in less than a year. In less than a year, they've gotten to that stage. But that's the kind of attitude, that's what we see taking place with this government. So right now, they are creating a mechanism where they are going to give you only what information they want to give you. So they have started that process by now they've cut the GIS nightly programs and they're going to do a once a week package. You already don't have no post cabinet. You know why? The more they talk, the more we expose them. So they're trying not to talk. So the more they talk, we're able to go back and say, but no, there's no way to say. You said that $650, $350 and so wasn't enough. It should be $650. But look, here it is. You have taken $150 away from these people. And again, today we're hearing stories of people who have gone to get their little seed thing and their name is now off the list. We have a caller online. Good night.
Hello, good night.
Good night. Yes, caller, go right ahead. You're live.
Yes. How you doing?
I'm quite fine. Go right ahead.
Yes. Very good program.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. I say that I have listened Sir Ruggles Ferguson this evening.
Mm-hmm.
And I must say that information is very, I'm very happy for that. And the work that you've been doing and others in informing the public. But my thing is about reaching out to the public out there. As Mr. Ferguson said, is reaching to the common man on the street. So I think we need to continue educating our people and bring the information like and congratulate you and the others for doing a great job. I continue listening to you. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we need to continue speaking about this bill, but there are other things too. Don't feel because they know we focus on the bill, they ain't doing other things. Because a little birdie tell me yesterday, and I heard it on a program this morning again, that Mr. Tafawa Pear, the Deputy Commissioner of Police, he was acting as a Deputy Commissioner of Police, right? That he has been demoted down to Superintendent of Police. I hearing that. So, Royal Grenada Police Force, is that true? Because I know that you all were looking at what you all could do to him. I know that for a fact that this government was looking at what they could do to him and other people within the public service of Grenada. They've taken a knife to the public service and they're trying to take out anybody that they even think went to work one day wearing something that looked kind of greenish. It could have been blue, but it looked kind of greenish. They're looking to get rid of that person from within the public service of Grenada. And again, I'm saying that that is wrong. That is unconstitutional on several levels. They are not looking for people based on competence, because they are incompetent for themselves. Misery loves company. So they're looking for other incompetent people to bring with them. So what they have been doing, they're not looking at if somebody who is doing a job and they're competent. I would like them to tell me if they have removed Mr. Tafawa Pear from the position of Deputy Commissioner of Police, if he's been demoted from that position, and if he has been demoted, under what circumstance has he been demoted? Just because all you find his wife is a former government minister, that is why you all demote him? If you all have demoted him? Is that the reason? Yeah? No wonder what you see taking place in the Royal Grenada Police Force is taking place. No wonder you have that situation now where everybody trying to go. Yeah? Everybody trying to go. They want to get out. And you see, that's what they're hoping, They're hoping people like him, who have already covered the number of years that they could retire. They're hoping that these people will just say, why me ain't taking that and go. No. Listen. Some all you have to stay. You know why? They ain't go last longer than all you. All you go last longer than them. So don't say all you go take the payoff and just go. No. Some all you have to stay. You have to stay within the system. But they're watching because remember, you're hearing all close to now, you're hearing close to 200. I knew of over 100. Now I'm hearing close to 200. Police officers are taking early retirement and going. But when you hear things like this, I'm also hearing Mr. John Mitchell being demoted as well. So while you're promoting some officers, for whatever reason, I can't say that you shouldn't promote the officers. I would love to see all officers get promoted. I don't think I could point to a single officer. I mean, all you could get yellow or look a stripe too. I think everybody go argue. All you could get yellow or look a stripe. Yeah, get yellow or stripe now. I'm talking for yellow. Yeah. But in all of that, I would like to see officers get their little promotion and so, but you all at the same time, while you're bringing some up to assistant commissioner of police and so, you're taking some down from deputy commissioner of police. What really going on with all you? I know you have an advisor who has been the most incompetent commissioner of police ever in the history of Grenada. So I know that is the case. But still, you all don't have anybody else to talk common sense. But then again, as I said earlier, incompetence, and incompetence loves company. Let me see if I get this call here. We have a call online. Good night.
Kellen,
Yes, ma'am.
what I do, Mr. Terry? They take him out from the
As I said-
position he is and they bring him lower down.
I've heard that, and I'm waiting for confirmation of that.
Well, to be honest speaking, I heard some police officers today, was talking about that. They say they hear that.
And they ain't
So
liking it.
what I'm saying is, they should announce that, let the Grenadian people know. But this
there
man
has to be a
worked
reason.
so hard, over all these years in the Grenada police force, and that is if that it is to him, the police force divide, he got trouble there, because you have others that work over the years too hard, and if they tell us, there is the next one, because you have police officers inside the police force that bring in news because they want position, but are you forgot they have a papagar? You have a papagar. Be very careful. If a man working and he's doing his job the right way, why you have to move him? Why? And you campaign with the police force that to protect you? Something wrong. Something has to wrong with you. Let it do what they have to do. When you get, well, I got to be hush me mouth.
Yami, Yami, where you hushing your mouth on there? Me and you go talk when I see you.
The police that there to serve and protect, that to protect these people, and you're treating them like nobody over all these years. It's sweat and hours and day and night. Something has to wrong.
Of course.
I tell you how you can't pray.
Yami,
Good night.
Good night. Let me tell you all something, yeah? Mr. Tafawa Pear may be the wife of a current sitting MP that put one hell of a curtail, right, on a former MP of the NDC, and one that end up having to take a position as a senator. And anybody that send again going to get worse curtail than all of them get together. I'm telling all you now, today the 22nd of March, anybody all you send in St. Andrew Southeast go get a worse curtail than the last two get combined. Right? But that aside, Mr. Tafawa Pear is not his wife. You have to judge him based on his capability, based on his competency, based on his ability to do the job at hand. Now, this individual was the head of the Financial Intelligence Unit, respected not just in Grenada, but worldwide. Be it over in Europe or North America, be it in Central or South America, his name is known. Not because he just went and they hear he from Grenada and thing. He is respected because he knows the job. He was in the police training school. I can tell you that because the officers who've been telling me this are the ones that saying it. That he was the best thing that ever passed through the police training school as the commandant there. Some of the officers you see doing the best right now came out under his tutelage. So he was elevated to that rank. And the only reason he's moving, he should sue all you. Yeah, sue them. Sue them tough. Sue them. I'm saying it. And they say, call them Mr. Susu. Because like they intend to be spending a lot of time in court. Sue them. Because here it is, you have a competent individual that you have demoted. And there are legal grounds based on statements made by the Prime Minister himself. The Prime Minister himself says that the person occupies a substantive position on a contractual arrangement that is wrong under the labor law. The words of the Minister of National Security. Yet still, he twisting him out around like if he gets a stroke to say now that these same people that on the different arrangements and so, the temporary arrangements, not just contractual, you know. But if you're in an acting position, this is the man that went before cameras and say that government was operating like a Shakespeare play, everybody acting, and it is wrong. And if a person has been holding that position for extended period of time, they have to be considered as actually holding the position. So what you have done, through your own words, Mr. Prime Minister, Minister of National Security, your own words will come back and haunt you in court, you know. Your own words will come back and haunt you in court. Look at this. Even let me show you something. Mr. Tafawa Pay was awarded by the Chinese government. I ain't see any of the other members that they rising in rank. I ain't saying the good, I ain't saying the bad. But I ain't see the Chinese making sure and give them an award that they give to very few people worldwide. Very few. For assisting people who are of Chinese origin and in need, for having done something extra special. It's like they give you a medal of honor. And this award was given to Mr. Tafawa Pay quite recently. Yeah? So the Chinese government as well, they recognize that this is an individual that is par excellence. They understand that this is an individual who is competent and who is capable. You feel the Chinese ambassador going and stand up next to anybody that they know ain't worth the salt and give them an award on behalf of the government and people of China? Looky there. Which one of them could come and show that? From the ex-commissioner who is the advisor on national security matters, right down. From the Prime Minister himself. Which one of them could go and show the award like that? Come and show. Come, send all the picture. We go put it up. Send it to me and I go put it up. Which other member of the Royal Grenada Police Force could do that? Yeah? You all can't, can you? Nice? You all can't. But that is the individual now that they find shouldn't be there. Playing politics. The same people who are saying, oh, we wouldn't play politics. And you know what? Over the weekend, I'm going to pull all the audio. They could take it down from social media if they want, you know. Because it's already recorded, right? So they could take it down if they want. But I'm going to pull out all the audio in relation to that and play it for you. And then when you hear it, listen to what they are saying and then see if now in 2023 they are doing what they were saying in 2021 and 2022. Listen to what they were saying and see if that is what they are doing. If their words and the actions match. Or if their words going so and the actions going so. Because in my belief, that is what is taking place. You demote Mr. John Mitchell too? Well, I'm not asking question, no, and I'm not saying it's true. You demote Mr. Tafawa Pay, demote Mr. John Mitchell, on what grounds? Because it definitely can be competency, it can be academic qualification, it can be capability. The only qualification all you're demoting people for, the only qualification all you're firing people with, and there are letters to that effect out of Karaku, and then people, I don't know if all the people in Karaku realize all you have a lot of money that all you could make off of that, because they have breached several laws and your constitutional rights. So all you could end up earning a lot of money. Right? So with all of that, you still have these people saying one thing and doing something else. You fire people in Karaku because always NNP. You're sending people on administrative leave, left, right, and center, and dragging them before the Public Service Commission on all kind of trumped up nonsense because a minister don't like you. or a minister fine, they pass in tongue, and they see ex-minister so-and-so stop and speak to you. So Minister Emlyn Pierre wait for you. She say, hi, how you doing? You work with the woman for 9 years. She say, hi, how you doing? You're not supposed to say anything. You're supposed to just watch her and say, don't call me. That is all you want? We're in an island of 100,000 people. People you all have as secretaries and working very close to you are family members of people in the NNP. So where you go fire them too? Supporters are yours. People who vote for you, or at least say they vote for you, are related to people in the NNP. What, they're not supposed to talk to them if they go to a wedding and they see them inside there? They're supposed to go on the other side of the wedding because they're not afraid that somebody come back to the ministry and say, well, look, I passing a wedding and I see person so-and-so talking with ex-minister. So, that's the kind of nonsense we're going through here. That's the kind of foolishness. That's what we're tolerating as a people right now. And while all of this is taking place, they don't want us to get the documentation in relation to it. So they're trying to push the data processing protection bill. Trying to push it. Because they want to use aspects of that bill as a sledgehammer to shut up. The same way Hitler burned books. The same way Hitler locked up journalists and hanged them. The same way that they took over the radio stations, they took over the newspapers, they took over the movie production. That Goebbels was directly involved in doing movies and creating that. So in the same way that they were doing all of that, you're seeing a mirror image of what was taking place there now, taking place here. So when they come and they say about the creative industry, and we're giving this for the creative industry, they're trying to buy all the media house. I tell you that. They're trying to buy, because the minister, they didn't say, let's put a committee together, and the committee is going to review all these things coming in, you know. The minister had the final say on who gets and who doesn't get. They have the application process, they say apply and thing, because they believe now that if they get those little producers, the little people that have the live going here, the people that have a live going there, the people that is the popular on social media and so, and they want to get a little camera to improve the thing, or a little lighting and so on, because they want to look something like us. Yeah, so they want to improve the thing. That when they apply, they're going to get it, and then after they get it, now the minister could say, but remember, I help you, you know. So they'll go now on the live and say, well, the minister is a nice man, you know, and try to influence people. That's what they're trying to do. They ain't looking at no creative industry. They ain't care about no creative industry. I hear they appoint people are looking at, I really want to see this week Gazette, because I want to see if the Spice Mass Board of Directors and the Grenada Cultural Board Foundation Board of Directors is in this week's Gazette. Today's Wednesday. I'm saying it now, so I'll have enough time to put it in tomorrow for it to come out Friday. Yeah? Because it's a legal requirement. Because he ain't certain name in the Cultural Foundation. I don't want to say that Livingston is the director, the CEO in the Cultural Foundation, unless I'll put it out. Yes, Livingston Nelson. I don't want to say that he is the Chief Executive Officer. I would not say that Livingston Nelson is now the Chief Executive Officer of the Grenada Cultural Foundation. I wouldn't say that. And I wouldn't say that. You only announced that, ain't it? But I wouldn't say he was there before. That was a story. He was there before. But that's the kind of things that happening in our country right now. And they want to shut us up. And then when we say they want to shut us up, they come in and say, oh no, they're only talking. Only talk for 9 years. Nobody didn't try and shut all you up. They said the worst things on radio, television, internet, and in the streets. The worst things about all of us. Anybody try and shut them up? How much of them went to court and end up having to do this? Nobody bother them. Somebody might write them and so. And in my view, I'm just letting you all know, in my view, there are certain individuals who will have to answer for certain statements in front of the courts very soon. I ain't saying who. But I was made aware of certain statements that were said. And while there are some over the years I've let pass, there are certain statements you just cannot allow to pass. You have to do what you have to do. So to be forewarned is to be forearmed. Yeah? Because that is what is taking place right now. So they could go and they could get whatever information, they could say whatever they want, and then you put the discretionary powers to the Prime Minister himself in the capacity as Minister of National Security to decide that a law, that something that you make illegal is not illegal in the national interest. You create a commission, you didn't put that power and discretionary powers in the commission. You put it in the hands of the minister, a political animal. That is what you do. Because you want to be able to use it as a political tool. That is the reason, no other reason. And don't try to convince me otherwise, because I didn't go to school just to eat lunch. No, I did not. In fact, lunchtime I used to spend it in a book too. So I didn't go to school just to spend lunch. So don't try to embarrass my intelligence and the intelligence of the listeners and viewers of this program and Grenadians on a whole by trying to tell us that you put those powers in the hands of the minister because you believe he's the best person or she is the best person to have those powers. You put it in their hands because you want to wield it as a political tool to protect your friends when they breach that same law that you're putting in place. So when I speak about Section 20 of the law, Section E, I know what I'm talking about. When I speak about Section 33 and the parts of that, the subsections of that, that deal with people having to, and anybody that's found, they didn't even give an age range, anybody that's found have to answer to what is there. I know what I'm talking about. So don't try to give the impression that we're just talking for talking's sake. We're talking because we care and we are concerned about what is going on in our country at this point in time. 440, and I'm sorry for that for those of you that were trying to call and the line was engaged. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the program. If you all do a look of polling at the police, you'll realize what's going on, you know. And I ain't telling all you that to help all you. I'm telling all you that to help Grenada. Grenada. Because what you have right now is a lot of discontented men and women in the Royal Grenada Police Force. People that very soon you have to find a pile of money for, because remember their insignias etc. has to be changed. Because it's no longer ER, it's now CR. So you have to change the insignia to keep up. And I think there's a good point in time to also have that discussion of whether we continue with the name the Royal Grenada Police Force or we dump in that to the Grenada Police Force or the Grenada Police Service or whatever we want to call it, but not the Royal Grenada Police Force. In fact, I don't even think in the Constitution is the Royal Grenada Police Force, if I am remembering correctly. I don't think there's any. My good friend who is listening from up there in St. David, if the child asleep, give me a message there and tell me, because I know you just read the Constitution a lot too. If I remember correctly, there's no reference to the Royal Grenada Police Force. I think it's the Grenada Police Force or something like that that's referred to in the Constitution of Grenada. And while we at it, get rid of this thing about His Majesty's prison. Them doesn't spend a cent up there. Me and you, who does spend there? Take it out. Take out that name. If we go into 50 years of independence, let's have those discussions as well. But we can't be going to 50 years of independence, and while we're on the road walking to 50 years of independence, you are trying to take away some of our independence and some of the rights that we got 50 years ago or 49 years ago. While we're walking on the road, you're trying to kick out our foot and break it? You want us to reach to 50 years on a crook stick? Or a walking stick or a crutch? Or even a wheelchair? Or maybe not even reach? Because you're trying to take away some of our rights as we're heading to the 50th anniversary of independence. But let's have those discussions. But they're not opening themselves to those discussions. They're not even opening themselves to those discussions. They're afraid. You know what? They have a particular song that I want to play. Yeah, it's a particular song. You know, a particular song just keep playing in my head while I'm talking tonight, you know. Yeah, a particular song that just keep playing in my head while I'm talking tonight. Let me get it a little touch before I go further. Yeah, let me get that song a little touch.
to roots. Remember we tradition.
Yes, Wendy. The police officers, they wouldn't find out soon. They've already found out. Because remember, they're still waiting on the pay and grade that was promised by the Prime Minister. It was promised. Then they're saying, well, NNP didn't do it. No, you made a promise. Don't come and talk about NNP. You made a promise that you would sort the issue out. Yeah? So you met the classroom a little bit ruffled and you said we're going to clean the classroom. So don't try to blame the students who went before. Fix the classroom. You make the promise that you're going to fix it. Don't decide you ain't fixing it because the other students that did no, fix it. So now they're coming to talk. Pay and grade, the police officers asking about that. The police ended up in a situation where they're starting to get vehicle problems again. That was an issue that the NNP met there in 2013, addressed. And now you realize it going back to our problems with police and vehicle again. Going back down that road. In the same way that you do have medication in the hospitals. In the same way that you have nurses having to work double and all of that. In the same way that you have all these things happening. All these things taking place. You have the police and them starting to have problems with vehicle again. But everything honky-dory, man. No need to have post-cabinet press briefing. Because as far as they're concerned, there's no need to speak to the press. And if the press does email or send a message asking for a response in relation to something, they are met with a wall of silence, like in the Third Reich. They are met with a wall of silence. They ain't answering them. One of the things I do is study a lot of history, you know. Anybody that's around me would tell you that I'm a person, whether it's World War II or World War I or Genghis Khan, or whether it's the Chinese wars and so on, or whether it's studying the art of war or something like that. I read a lot. I listen a lot in different things. So when they're trying these things, I know what they're coming with and I know why. I know what their end purpose is, what they intend to try and do. Yeah? Imagine a man like Tafawa Pierre. For you to hug up a person like that. Because if you kept him as Deputy Commissioner of Police, or you did, what was the right and proper thing to do and make him Commissioner of Police as you ought to have done? As you ought to have done, and you know it, that you ought to have made him Commissioner of Police. Grenadians would have looked at you as, hey, these people really mean what they say. These people are trying to unite us. Because if they could take the husband of a former government minister and make him the Commissioner of Police, you know that means that these people really mean business about everybody coming together. But instead of that, you have your activists and executive members out there talking about we have to fire all them NNP in the public service. We have to find ways and means of getting rid of all of them. As if NNP people not paying taxes. As if NNP people don't carry a birth certificate that say Grenada. Or a voter's card that says Grenada. Or if their passport saying something else other than Grenada. So what happened? Because the supporters of the New National Party mean they're not supposed to live here, they're supposed to leave and go somewhere else? Just leave the country for all you? That is the stage we're going at? You know the good thing? I think I'll make this my last statement for tonight because I'm going to wrap now. The good thing is, with each week, the nonsense that they are doing is knocking another month off at their time in government. So pretty soon, you won't see the end of them. What you and I need to do is 1, make sure that we're registered. 2, do like my good friend Mr. Jones. No, not that Jones. Another Jones friend of mine. A real friend of mine. I ain't talking about them people and them day. Right. Make sure that you are a registered member of the New National Party. Yes, Julian, I remember you. A registered member of the party. And that you are active as well. So that when the call comes, you are ready to roll. And you know what your role within the constituency and nationally is. And you're ready to play that role. You understand? Make sure that you are registered and that you are ready. We have a caller. Who will be our last caller for tonight? Go right ahead.
Where are you going now? All NNPIs, get ready.
Yes.
All NNPIs out there, get ready.
Yes, indeed.
If your children reach the age for 18, let them register. We have to vote them out. Get ready, all NNPIs. Don't afraid. This is your country.
We
Grenada
have
is
to
your
do.
country.
We have to do
Get
what we
ready.
have to do.
Have a good
Yeah.
night, everybody.
All right, my dear.
And continue talking for the police.
Yeah, because
Keep
what's
talking
going
about
on
the
there?
police.
What's going on there?
Stop playing them. Keep
Yami.
talking, Jalan. Yes.
Yami, behave. Later.
Right.
Yes, indeed. So, folks, yeah. So we need to make sure that we get ourselves ready. So who want to sit down there and tell us when to call what? If they are card-carrying members of the New National Party, they have a say. If they are not card-carrying party members of the New National Party, we listen to what you say and we'll take it into consideration. Those of us who are card-carrying members of the New National Party. Because some of them who want to tell you what to do with your party, they have the reason why they're telling you what to do and when to do with your party. Not because they have anything. Listen to some of the people that are saying it. You think they have any good intention for your political organization? And some of you buying into it, so when they're telling you this, you're running and go and repeat it. Listen to who telling you that. You think that they have any good intention for your political organization or you as an individual? But they come in and they're telling you what to do with your party. They can't even fix theirs, But they want to tell you what to do with your party. And you taking their message and run with it. No. Be focused. All right. So, folks, tomorrow night we'll be having our final program for this week. And that will be starting at 8 p.m. on the dot, God's willing. All right. My name is Sheldon Scott. I am heading out of here. Let me just make sure I get all the messages and things there. Nice. Yes, right. Okay. Just making sure it's nothing very, very important because last night, as I said, I left just when I was supposed to read something and I left just before. So, folks, that's it for tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. We're going to be speaking a lot more tomorrow night on various issues, yeah? And policemen are feeling it for all, yeah? Seriously, are feeling it for all, yeah? I know some people that say, well, hey, they vote out. No, I feeling it for them. Because all of us have a family member somewhere that is a police officer. Grenada is 100,000 of us. Listen, it is a football match. Some places in Europe and in Africa and Middle East and so, where the stadium have as much people as we have in this country. That's a fact. It has stadiums holding 80-something thousand and plus. And they have a football match and all these people in the stadium and the population of Grenada. Yeah? We're not even properly a village in certain parts of China. So everybody know everybody, we're a small country and what we should be preaching is unity. But while one side is preaching unity, the other side is not practicing it. So you're spiting Mr. Tafawa Puye. You're spiting Mr. John Mitchell. You're spiting all those people in the public service right now that you're sending on administrative leave one after the other. Letter passing like, Letter passing like the alphabet. Left, right, and center. Sending people on administrative leave. Sending people before the Public Service Commission. Weaponizing the Public Service Commission. And I was saying the last thing, but I have one more thing I had to say. I await the unions on this issue. I think there was an interview sometime last week with the recently re-elected union executive. I did not get a chance to listen to it, so I can't say if they spoke on this data protection bill and the sections of it which will be affecting workers, particularly workers in the public service and other workers. Because you're speaking here about I'm working in a business place, that business place becomes subject to search, and anything that's found in that business place, me as a worker, I have to answer for what's found there. The unions, as well as the media association, need to speak out. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'm out of here. In whatever you say and do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you and not about you. Love each and every one of you. I am out.
Down to roots, remember we tradition. For this Kambule, Jambalasi ruling this time. Yes, we everywhere, taking it from the grapevine. We breaking all rules with fun, kong and rhyme. If the campaign didn't pass in the yard, they wouldn't have say, how me mad bad motor pay to pass in the yard. You say to make it better, you make to sting me finger. Now only 1 year later, this country having heart failure. Hey, you vote, you don't vote, same damn thing. The heart or the hand, same damn thing. The change we ain't change, same damn thing. You win, you don't win, same damn thing. We love honesty, with it we must succeed. How can we grow without our basic needs?